Hey guys, I haven't done an update on the tanks in a while because, well, I really haven't gotten any new fish, any new coral, and I've been busy. So, tank's just waking up. You can see the difference in the two black boxes, how blue one side is and how purple the other side is. So, just thought I'd make a little video. It's probably about week 50 in reefing. That does not mean this tank is almost 100 years old. Let's see, it's the beginning of November. This tank went up in June, about mid-June. So, and it's actually, the last couple of weeks has just been really good. Like, the tank has really started to be seasoned and things are growing and doing well. Whereas in the beginning, the first couple of months of a tank, it seems to struggle, where things stay alive, but they don't grow, they don't, they just don't work out. They're just kind of surviving. So I thought I'd do a little update. A few little close-ups, you can see what's going on. So one candy cane is keeping the other candy cane at bay. He's got his little sweeper out. Normally these candy canes only have their sweepers out at night, or their feeding tentacles, but he is definitely trying to mess with that other candy cane. So I would like to move them apart, but everything's going to be moved into the new tank soon. So it's definitely, though, showing some signs of that toxic green one would probably be doing better if it wasn't right next to that guy. Same thing with these clove polyps. This hammer keeps them at bay over here. There's a definite line where you can see how big, when the hammer gets extended, it pushes them back. So it's kind of cool. You got the Jedi mind tricks on this rock. I don't know, the frags are always cheap and I think they're pretty cool. So let's see, those are 3 different ones there. And of course the one in the middle is my favorite because of the way it healed and grew over the rock, and now the middle is actually growing like ends, so it's going to start doing some, see, they're not encrusting, they are more of a plating, and they're purple where they plate and green where they're in the middle, but this one has a purple center, so it's kind of cool. The one below it is very purple. And then this one up here is more green. Just some more Montes and Favias. This Sunset Monte is really just encrusting out onto the rock. It was about the size of a dime. Now it's bigger than a quarter. So that's pretty cool. Everything's got great polyp extension. It's just really doing proper. And I'm getting some great growth. These bird's nests were just tiny little, a couple of sticks. Maybe 2-3 pieces where you could just tell it was a bird's nest. They're not quite colonies yet, but they are growing, so I'm appreciating all the growth that I'm seeing in here. And then got some vibrant colors. This acan over here, there it is. This guy was close to one of these Favias, and the sweepers were coming out, and it really stung it. So we'll see if it comes back. If not, that's what it is. What it is, you know what I mean? Live and you learn. Now then, talking about growth, this little bird's nest, it's got a smoother edge to it. It's not as pointy and sharp as the other one. But this thing's just taken off in every direction. It's been growing pretty good. It seems to have a couple more branches on it every week. So, and then right in the middle is a tiny little acro frag. Yeah, this is going to pixelate a little. So we can get it to clear up. But the polyp extension on that guy is crazy. It focuses a little better with the lights on. The whites came on, so yeah, little photo bomb by the ruby red dragonette. Yeah. And over here, these are just little chips that were from the Sunset Montipora. I glued them onto a dead frag, and they're encrusting. They were just tiny little chips, maybe 2-3 little polyps each. So, pretty cool. And since the lights are on, let's just take a little more of a view here. Those are the bird's nest colonies. It's like a pink stylo in the middle, doing really well. And this big piece of stylo is the one that just keeps growing. It was just what it encrusted onto the rock. And I moved the frag and this keeps growing. So that's pretty cool. And candy cane's still being a bully. Look at the gorgonian that I got from Reefapalooza. This thing's about 3 times the size. I don't know much about gorgonians, how fast they grow, if they grow like weeds. But this thing not only is branched, but it has encrusted as well. And that was the Julian's Golden Gorgonian from Reefapalooza. And I don't know, it's kind of a mustard color. It's not real impressive, but it's cool. It adds some diversity in there. Do a little shaky cam through the tank. Yeah, that was 4 heads, Palithoas. 4 heads. Not these ones like with the sunset in the middle. They're just surviving amongst the masses. But that rust colored one, that was like 4 heads. It's crazy. So it's a vibrant strain of green star polyps. Some other cool pallies. The only zoos in my main display are right there. Because they do well, so they can stay. That's the little chips of Sunset Montipora. It's at a better angle. This is something at Reefapalooza I got from Rico. I don't think it's dead, but it's really not impressive. So I think it was a tricolor something, but right now it's trying to be a color. So and the bubble coral I got from O. The only buddy who can hang out with him is macroalgae. He's a destroyer boy. At night, he's a destroyer. And the tang and foxface don't eat the macroalgae. I mean, if I put it 6 inches away from the bubble coral, they would eat that. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe they like the way it looks. Now, over in the cube, we still have a tremendous amount of bubble algae. I haven't done anything to it. And the plan is when I move it upstairs, I'm going to take everything out, put it in another tank, bring the cube up, and almost start it over again. But I'll keep all of the clownfish, the anemone. I'll move everything into a 20 long while I do a quick cycle and clean up on this. And the lights just came on, so the green star polyps on the back aren't opened yet, but I may just scrape them all off and frag them up a little bit. But that is, you can see the right there is the frag plug. So that's the plug that they were on originally, and that's how big it's gotten. So they've grown out, and then there's another little rogue pile over there. And zoanthids are just doing great. The red colony, which over here, that was down a couple of polyps, and it's really come back full force. I like the way it's taken off. And then there's a couple of mushrooms over here, a couple of small zoanthids on frag plugs. I may populate them all onto the rocks, and but it's doing well. I mean, the bubble algae is horrible, but I guess it's really not harming anything. It's not around the zoanthids, so they can't, it's not stopping them from growing, but some of the rocks are just covered in it, and I'll just toss those rocks. So algae and softies do really well in this tank. And the mushrooms are kind of taking over. They're going wherever they want to go. You'll see that leather coral in the back. There's a big mushroom sitting right on top of it. This is that new algae I'm seeing that's kind of weird. It has almost like, you can see the strip here has almost like these little tiny lily pads on it, and that's the leaf on it. But it's just reaching out with these shoots, and there's all roots on them. So that's pretty crazy. And this Kenya tree, every time it gets big, it just spits out a couple little babies. I took a shot of on Halloween with the sea urchin, who is wearing one of the he's wearing one of the Kenya trees. I don't see him in there now. Must be in the rocks. But it was pretty cool. On the new tank, I have the 40 breeder sump working. It is, you know, it's not connected to the system yet. The system's not draining into it. I have a small pump from the return chamber to where the overflows would dump. So it's rolling at about 300-400 gallons an hour, which it should be twice that. But I just wanted to get the refugium going, and you know, get it wet with mixed with salt water. So I took everything that was in my 20 high off of the tank, and I closed off that. I hope that's not going to create a problem. Out of everything that was overflowing into my sump, I'd say only about 10-20% was going through that. So it shouldn't be an issue that I took that off the main system, hopefully. And soon we'll get it into here. But let's see. We'll go up, and yes, it's a cloudy mess because I put sand in it. It's not too bad. I mean, I can see into the tank. There is a piece of live rock in there. With the lighting, you can't see what I can see, but that's going to be the build right there. On that 40 breeder, I had to catty corner it a little bit, and it slipped right in. It was the perfect size for this stand. I got so lucky on that. So yeah, that's the 20 high. I have it all shut down. And then over here, there's lights out in this sump, but this sump is fully functional. I actually have everything to run both systems for as long as it takes, except a skimmer. I only have the one big skimmer. So once the other tank clears up, I'm going to move all of this rock into it, and with an established refugium in the sump, I shouldn't see any major cycle. I'm hoping, because the tank is really doing so well. I really don't want to take from it. Hopefully it'll be a smooth transition. Thanks for watching, guys, and got any comments, please let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.